Welcome back to HighLevel Techie, and today we are going to create a sub account for HighLevel Techie. So far, we have created a logo, we have created an email address, and now we are going to create a sub account for HighLevel Techie using that email address. So let's get started. So all you have to do is to go into your agency account and select sub accounts. When you click on this button, a pop-up would open up, and this is where you can load some of the pre-installed snapshots or any of your own snapshots or any of the important snapshots into this account. So for example, if you're building this sub account for an medical professional, you can go here and get this snapshot loaded into your account. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this blank snapshot. So I'm going to click here to select and continue with the blank snapshot. So in this page, if you already have an existing business, what you can do is search for that business in here. So for example, if it's a dental business, you just search for a dental business in that area. And if your business shows up in this drop down list, you can select that. Otherwise, if you're a new business, you don't have your presence on Google Maps just yet, what you can do is you can click here and add account manually. So I'm going to fill this out now and come back to you later. So now I have filled up all the details. All I have to do is to click save. So now you can see I have my account created and all the basic details are here. General info is here. Social profile can be added here. If you want to add a note to the sub account, you can add the note here. You can also add a task here, but these are not required. As an agency owner, if you want to set a usage limit to this particular sub account, you can do so from here. You can limit the number of users. If you don't limit it, it's going to be unlimited users. And similarly, you can also set a limit to the number of contacts an account can have. If you set that limit, for example, if I'm going to set this to 1,000 contacts, this account cannot have more than 1,000 contacts. This is one way you can set up usage limits and create more revenue based on the number of contacts and number of users one can have in a sub account. So for now, I'm not going to set any limits. Now, if you go to rebilling, this is where you can set any sort of rebilling. This feature is only available under 497 plan. Similarly, reselling, if you're planning on reselling any of the services that you see here, this is where you can set up the price for that. For example, conversational AI, if HighLevel price is 49, you can set whatever price you want here and you get that difference as your profit. So for example, if I'm going to set it 99, I get $50 profit. Similarly, you can also resell Yext, WhatsApp, and WordPress. Now, if you go to Marketplace apps, this is where you can start selling third-party apps. And then if you go into advanced settings, this is where you can set the SMS limit and email limit. Since we just started this account, the current limit for this account will be 100 SMS per day, and number of emails that this account can send is 250 emails per day. This helps you in preventing people abusing the system by sending email blast or SMS blast on the first day itself. So this follows a ramp up model. The number of days this account active increases, you can send more number of SMS and emails. You can see here 15,000 emails per day will unlock after 7 days. So if you want to increase that limit, you can click here to increase that limit. And you have a few other options as well here. If you want to enable re-verification of emails after 90 days, you can do so from here. So that's about the settings behind a sub account. I'll show you a few more things in here. If you click on this action button, you will see 4 options here. One is to load snapshot, and then you can select the snapshot from this drop down, and then you can proceed to load that snapshot into this sub account. And then if you want to delete the sub account altogether, you can click here and delete the sub account. You can also post a sub account. For some reason, the client is not paying and then they want to post a sub account for some time. In such situations, you can click here to post that sub account. Now, you also have another option to transfer sub account. If your client wants to move away from your agency to another agency, they can send in a request. And if you approve that request, you can click transfer sub account and then you can transfer this sub account to some other agency. So that is this option. If you're an agency owner, ideally you should be using this option because your aim should be to keep the clients with you as long as possible. So now we have basically covered most of the options under sub accounts. Now it is time for us to switch to that sub account. So click here to go into the sub account. Now you can see our fresh sub account is created. You can see the name here, HighLevel Techie, and it looks pretty empty. There's no opportunity status or no opportunity value, funnel, stage distribution, everything looks empty because we don't have any data. In the coming days, we will create a website and then we will see how we can connect the domain and how we can create an email sending domain and all that. So now let's go inside some of the settings of this sub account. To access those settings, you click on here, settings. By default, the business profile will open up, and this is where you can add a logo. You can remove a logo if it's already been added, and this is where you set up your friendly business name and legal business name and all that. When you're applying and trying to buy a phone number from Lead Connector, they do cross-check the business name and address and all that in this page. So it's make sure that you have accurate information here, especially if you're going to buy a phone number for this sub account. So once you finish with business email, business phone number, and all that, this is where you can add a branded domain. So what is a branded domain? So as a sub account, when you create a calendar or a form or a survey, and you share that link, you usually go out with the agency's link, something like link.highlevel.com/calendar, something like that. So if you want to share those links with your domain, for example, links.mydomain.com/calendar, that's when you set up a branded domain. So we are going to do this in detail in our next video. We are going to set up all the domains. But for now, you just need to understand that if you set up branded domain, you can share your calendar, form, surveys, etc. under your subdomain name. Once you set that up, you just need to fill out a few more details about your business, what kind of business you do, and where it is located, and all that. And this is where you can set up a call and voicemail setting. So when someone calls you and when it rings for like 10 seconds or 20 seconds and after that timeout, if you want to play as an audio, you can upload that audio in here. Once you upload that, you can click save. Here on the right hand side, you have more option to set up your physical address for this business. And you can also set up a platform language here. If you want to change this platform language from English to something else, you can change that from here. You can also set outbound communication language for custom values here, but for now it's only location dependent and you only have access to English Australia because I set the location address as Sydney. And you can add representative details here. And this is another important area. If you are planning to have duplicate opportunity in your pipeline, this is where you can set it up. If you do not have this turned on, only one opportunity under one email address can be created under one pipeline. And you can also merge Facebook contacts by name. So for example, like you already have a contact in your database, the same contact sends you a message via Facebook and your Facebook is integrated with GoHighLevel. And in that case, if there is a match between the names, these both contact will be merged together if this is checked on. You can disable the contact time zone here if you want. And this setting deals with bots automatically opens or clicks on email. So if you check this on, the bot detection would prevent the stats getting updated if a bot clicks or opens an email. And if you turn this on, all the emails that gets hard bounced will be marked as invalid, which is very good for your email deliverability and for your domain reputation. Make sure that you have this turned on. And you can also validate phone number when first SMS is sent to a new contact, but keep in mind that this is a paid option. If you go here, you can see the standard price for validation is $0.005. If this setting is turned on, it would check if the phone number is valid or not. If it is valid, then the SMS would go out. If it is not valid, then the SMS will not go out. Similarly, you can verify email address as well. So this is also a paid option, $0.0025 per verification. This also works in a similar way. So when you're sending out the first email to this contact, it will check if this email is valid or not. Now, these are the settings that are related to compliance. So if you want to make your SMS compliant, you need to have a phrase inside your first SMS on how they can unsubscribe from your marketing messages. So if you check this one on, the first message would go out with this phrase, reply, stop to unsubscribe. You can also click here to customize it. You can add a different keyword or whole sentence can be changed. But keep in mind that you can only use a few of the standard keywords such as stop, stop all, unsubscribe, cancel, and or quit. So if you want to change that, you can change from here. Similarly, to make SMS compliant, you also need to add sender information. So in this case, you can see here, thanks and HighLevel Techie, the name of the brand is added here. You can customize it here by updating this value here. Similarly, email can be made compliant by adding an unsubscribe button at the bottom. If you want to change the sentence, you can click here to customize it. Now we are moving on to this contact duplication preference. So if you want to allow duplicate contacts, this is where you set that up and how the system knows if it's a duplicate contact or not. So the system checks if it's a duplicate contact or not based on either email or phone number. So for now, by default, email is set here. You can set that primary preference to phone and then change the secondary preference to none. It's up to you, but ideally you look for duplicates using email and then second preference will be given to phone. If you want to change that, you just need to change from this drop down here. Missed call text back, you can enable or disable missed call text back from here. By default, all the missed call text back is enabled. And whenever someone gives you a call and you miss that call, by default, this message will go out as long as you have enabled this feature. There are two ways to do it, either by enabling this feature here, or you can create a dedicated workflow for that and disable it here. It's totally up to you. How do you want to get this thing done? For now, I'm going to disable this. I don't have a phone number on this account anyway, so that shouldn't be much of a problem. So now we have seen how you can create a sub account, and we have seen also the settings under sub accounts. That's all for today. In the coming days, we will show you how you can add domains and all that. So if you have any questions related to sub accounts, how to set it up, or any questions related to any of the settings that you've seen so far, please let us know. We will be more than happy to answer your questions. And that's all for today, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.